You're listening to a Roddenberry podcast.
Welcome to Talking Ted. This week, Desperately Seeking Susan, the one where Susan raises her voice a little bit and doesn't really like it. I'm Jessica Lynn Verdi.
And I'm Mike Richards. Raises her voice just a little bit. And, God love her. She's a wonderful human being.
Oh.
And you know who else isn't a wonderful human being?
Tell me.
Alanna Ubach.
I am so excited to talk to her today. She's one of those actors and creative people that has touched our lives, whether you know it or not.
Whether you know it or not, that's the thing.
Yeah, has enriched your viewing experience. You know, there was a wonderful thing that happened over the pandemic where people started to realize just how important the role of the actor was. You know, we bring a lot of joy to people and at your televisions, especially when things are hard. And she's been a part of that joy for quite some time.
She really is. We're going to talk more about that when we welcome Alanna onto the show. But for the meantime, Jessica, why don't you share with us the recap?
I shall. I hope I can do this wonderful episode justice. A power outage in the Bennett household separates the men from the boys, aka the Blairs from the Maddies, which enrages Maddie and causes him to fall back on his juvenile coping techniques of leaving so that he can win an argument. Do you know anyone like that? Upon being challenged by Blair, Maddie says he'll go to marriage counseling with Susan, which, after a series of events, proves to be just a session with Ted in a suit as the therapist, who only wants to get them to admit that they have anal sex. But surprisingly, we do learn a lot about Susan, that she wanted to be a teacher and even has her degree. After one mental breakdown too many, their teacher at school loses his job, leaving the perfect plot hole for Susan to fill. The mean girl at school sets her targets immediately on Mrs. Bennett, and before Susan has a chance to handle the situation, Ted goes in for the kill and eviscerates the mean girl's whole deal. The girl leaves the room crying. Susan runs after her, calms her down, and even gets a compliment from her. At home later that day, after some probing, Susan reveals that she doesn't want to go back, that making the girl feel good was the best part of her day, and that's something she gets to do at home, as evidenced by her quickly rising to tend to Maddie when he comes home with the serious Kate of the gout.
Jessica, you had a choice to make. You could either make eye contact with the camera, or you could read the recap. You chose to read the recap.
I tried to do both. I tried, but apparently I chose wrong. You know, I really love how unhinged that teacher is, because we get a taste of it in the early part of the season, and then he just goes full bore, and I'm so glad you brought it up, because this poor guy, he exists. We were all taught by him. He was my teacher in high school, so I get it.
Yeah, and then, you have no idea at that age, like, what happens, what adulting is like. And, just a little piece, but because of his outbreak, we also got a little cameo from Penny Johnson-Gerald, which was very nice to see her come back. So
we've talked a lot about this when it comes to Seth and his penchant for working with people he admires and keeping them close, and he also finds the right roles for these people. I mean, look at it. He's got Liam Neeson to do a million things, and that is just cool to me. So it's really cool to see Penny and some of our Orvillean friends here doing excellent jobs.
Exactly right. And that was a great recap. Anything else you want to talk about before we bring our guest onto the show?
There's nothing I want to talk about that doesn't include Alanna Ubach and what her takes on this episode are. So I think we should just jump straight to it, Mike.
All right, we'll be back on the other side with Alanna. Cheers, Jess.
Cheers, Mike.
Hey, folks. We're here to talk to you about Bear Fight Whiskey, how much we've been enjoying it, and how you can enjoy it yourselves.
I'm a whiskey drinker through and through, and I think I have found my new favorite go-to in Bear Fight whiskey. It's a little bit of scotch, it's a little bit of bourbon, it's a little bit of great, and we want to extend a discount to you so you can sip right along with us.
Bear Fight whiskey is an American single malt. It's one of the most awarded single malt whiskeys in the U.S. It's a simple recipe, it's a fantastic flavor, and it goes great with anything.
So head over to bearfightwhiskey.com, type in BF20 at checkout, and get yourself $20 off of shipping.
And now, back to the show.
Welcome back to Talking Ted. We have a fabulous guest. Fabulosa guest for our show today to talk about Desperately Seeking Susan, Alanna Ubach, the mom of Johnny, Susan Bennett. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I have, the stupidest question I'm ever going to ask you. And it's especially because in my circle of people, you never tell a celebrity, oh, you're trending because of X, Y, and Z, because it's a non-question. But
how do you know when something is trending?
Well, it'll just come across my feed, right? Or I happen to see something and, all of a sudden, someone came up to, I want to say Emily Blunt and is like, did you know this thing? And she's like, I have no idea what this is. But the reason I'm bringing it up is
Am I trending with Emily Blunt?
No, your monologue of yelling at the cook in waiting is trending. Did you know that?
Yes. I am in touch with the world.
Okay.
through my nephew Alex. He's 5, and he's like, "You become a meme." I'm like, "What does that mean?" It's a meme. I've become a what? And he'll send it to me, and I said, and then I'll understand. But aside from that, that was it's hysterical. Yeah, people have played music to that.
Yes, the drums to it.
The dramatic wash the fucking dishes and shut the fuck.
When I was prepping for this, my daughter was like, "That's the lady from Waiting," and I was like, "Yes, that's exactly right. That's what she pegged you at." But I mean, my God, your list of credits is so long, and Waiting, Disney Pixar's Coco, doing some voice work there.
Of course you were in Coco. I could hear. Because we talked a little bit before this started, and I was like, I know that accent.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Mama Imelda.
That is amazing.
And one of the hottest shows for the last couple of years, Euphoria, is just, is torn it up on HBO.
Isn't that crazy? I'm going to take a little sip of my Bear Fight American whiskey malt whiskey, and it's small batch, and it's triple oak. Finished.
Enjoy. Cheers, Alanna.
It's got toasted pecan, honey, ripe red apple, dried figs, candied dates, sweet sherry, and peat smoke.
Wow, that rolled off your tongue so naturally.
Besitos y amor.
Besitos.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Christmas memories of all time was I was my first or second year of college. I was dating a girl. We went to her cousin's house after Christmas, and we sang Christmas carols and passed a sled around with Santa and the reindeer. And wherever the song stopped, you had to read the back of whatever bottle you had in front of you. Dramatic reading too, and it was fantastic.
Right.
Pot distilled for maximum flavor.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll hang up now.
I just want to say something. After one sip, my areola hairs grew back. I plucked them this morning, and they just grew right back.
So it sounds like you and Maddie both have hair on the tip.
Oh my God! One of the most amazing project I've ever worked on, Ted.
Really?
Just the most fun. The most welcoming, the warmest group of people.
Now, is this the first time you worked with this cast of characters? Because it's a lot of the other folks came from.
I never met Seth MacFarlane. No, actually, Scott Grimes and I played girlfriend and boyfriend in Party of Five when we were.
Yeah, Will McCorkle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then, 100 years later, we run into each other again, and we're paired up as husband and wife. And Dana Gould was up for the role of Maddie as well. And so,
I didn't know that because he wrote a couple episodes.
Match game, and Dana Gould was already one of the writers. And he, he does an incredible impression of his Bostonian father growing up with his dad and the things that would come out of his dad's mouth and this, that, and the other. Chef's kiss. And we were matching, and then Big Red ended up booking the role.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very excited because he's such a hang. He is such a hang. And Georgia, Max, Seth, it's just, you spend a lot of time with each other on a set. It takes such a long time for things to get set up from one scene to the next. So from one scene to the next, you're basically sitting there in a circle with someone you either hate or you don't. And that's how it goes for about 2 months straight.
Jesus. And I'm sure you do run the gamut of like emotions. My problem would be probably being in that room and not shutting up when it was go time, because you're just probably having a blast the whole time.
Well, and then they get to know you really well. And my big thing is I'm so embarrassed by how much I pee during the day. I just pee all the time. And we sit down and I'm like, I gotta go. I'll be right back. And then, and then I'm just running back and hoping that, by the time I sit down, I don't have to pee again. It's embarrassing, but they were very nice about it, very polite, but yeah. But
you're well hydrated and, a woman. And I feel like it's one of those things that a lot of us evolve into. This is the era I'm evolving into. A friend of mine told me she goes pee 3 or 4 times before she goes to bed. And I swear to God, ever since spending the night at her house, I do that now.
Flop on you, didn't it?
She ruined me for being able to go straight to bed. So
when we were striking, my friend told me to come and meet him just straight. I said, are there outhouses there? Because I won't be able to strike unless there's a restroom nearby.
Or there's a diaper.
Ends.
Gotta have a porta potty.
So one of the things I really admire about this performance for you especially is I want to say that you're like a dangerous comedian in that you know how you walk this line of like absolutely realistic and borderline like chaotic, and you really walk it finely, but you get like, I can see, like, I guess what I'm saying is you give us like this dynamic in everything you've done, and now this character can't even say the F word. When my boyfriend and I watched the show, you giving him the finger is probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. And what was there a challenge in like not in a character that obviously wants to say so much? And I think that that's what this episode is about too, right?
Sure. I think that's probably the biggest reason everyone was hesitant to hire me.
Wow.
Because of the tough roles I've played. I play so many tough broads. And it's really, really, it took a lot of convincing before they finally were like, okay, you know what? Yes. I can see her being that person.
Did you have a Susan in your life to help with that?
She was a nun, Sister Mary, and she taught my catechism classes when I was a little girl. So, she was the one nun who was a constant in my life, all throughout elementary school. It was Sister Mary, and she had this beautiful way of looking at any kind of uncomfortable situation and finding the beauty in it. And she had a higher calling. And to me, I thought, well, what if Susan really thinks that she is, it is her purpose in life. It is her calling to be the yin to Maddie's yang. And in order to have that balance, then their child will feel safe and will feel loved and will feel warm and cozy. I mean, it's I'm the only female really in that dynamic, and thank God for Georgia coming to live with us to say, but people don't say that anymore. Like I just don't, and that's what I think is so genius about the writing is that all of these wonderful, crazy, it's a motley crew of a family, and that's what makes it really fun. But I thought, if she thinks to herself, she really does have a higher calling, for the betterment of the family. You do whatever you can. I have a 6-year-old, and and he is really starting to see right through people, and it's wild.
Right.
And you try to, you're hoping monkey see, monkey do, right? So if I'm really polite to strangers or what have you, or I'm really chatty with people, that he'll pick up on that and want to be just like me and have, good manners. And we were in the car just the other day, and he said, Mom, I've noticed that you're really nice to people you don't know, but at home you don't talk a lot, and you always look like you have to fart, and it can't come out.
Out of the mouths of babes.
That is wild perception.
And I said, wow, you know what, buddy? I was like that. Yeah, I said, and he said, and why are you nice to people? And then at home, you just look like, you're scowling and you're not saying anything. I said, well, it's I said, you're backstage. We're all backstage as a family. We're all backstage as a family. I said, you are not who you are on the playground, in school with all your buddies. I'm sure you're a very different kid. We all have different masks, and he was like, okay.
Yeah, I had similar conversation with my kids, when they were asking how they act at home versus at school. I was like, look, you've got school clothes, you got clothes you wear at home, right? You've got language you use at school, you've got language you use at home. That
was the only thing I wasn't allowed to do, was just curse. My dad would, the F word was the common word, and we had to learn that was the at home word.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No. So where did you guys grow up?
I'm a Long Islander, live in Indianapolis now, but grew up in New York.
And I'm a Valley kid. You're
a Valley kid. We're raising it in the A1A?
Literally, yeah. And Georgia was sharing with us that you guys filmed in Chatsworth, and that is my first job ever was actually doing spokesperson work for a porn company and talking. I know, seriously.
No way.
Yeah, it paid for my trip to New York, so I still feel really good about it. And,
you know what? God love porn. I have a couple of writer friends of mine that started out in porn, and it really, it got that muscle moving.
Isn't it? Don't you say the porno like that? The porno. Or if there's or a the.
Yes, that's right. We had read-throughs before, like read-throughs of every single episode before we even shot episode 1. And so, because I think he's, Seth is very audio-driven, and so he had to listen to sort of the musicality of the episode in its entirety. It's sort of like a symphony. It's like, this is it. Is that going to work? Is that going to work? No, that's not going to work. Okay, we're going to fix that later. But he's literally like, just listening.
So then he's got a wonderful instrument in you, especially with the Indian friend, like being able to find those playful ways to deliver lines.
My mom was she would say almonds instead of almonds. Would you like some almonds? They're chocolate covered. And she apparently it's almonds as well. So
I've never heard that before.
Yes, she's like, I'm what you call an autodidact. She's self-taught. She didn't go to college, but when my dad was a machismo Puerto Rican, and she was Mexicana, moved here when she was 3, and it was the 80s, and she was just reading, and all of a sudden. Almonds, and she just say things like, well, the juxtaposition of that, it's just, well, I think that's that's common, and it's vulgar, and it's yes, her vernacular, suddenly it was like talking to I don't know, Quentin Crisp. All of a sudden we had a Mexican Quentin Crisp in our household. Like she was hysterical, and she was so I brought a lot of my mom to that character.
Oh, that's amazing. And when Georgia was explaining, if there's an article, an or a the, then it's the porn. Otherwise, it's porno. And you go, I think I'm just not going to say it anymore.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh boy, was that ever so much fun doing that.
I do think, looking at her having a higher calling really actually explains episode 5, Desperately Seeking Susan, very well.
Yes, they were going to cut one episode, and I thought, oh, it's going to be Desperately Seeking Susan, because no one wants to know the background of the mother.
False.
On any show. No one cares.
Genuinely, I don't think they could. They couldn't have, because we also need to know that you were a consenting and partner in this situation, or else we would be trying to get you out of this situation.
Yes,
Do you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. And absolutely. Yeah, we have to justify, you guys, why she's not leaving this piece.
Truly.
We really have to. Well, let's make an episode. Okay. She was in English.
Which was a stretch.
Educated.
It's a stretch, but it really works. It does work.
I mean, so many. I went to an Episcopalian school when I was a kid. I went to communion. I had my communion, and I was baptized and everything. And there's a lot of what is the word? Is it oppression, repression?
Oh, I mean,
all
indoctrination.
Of that,
I mean, a lot of my teachers, you just saw that. I mean, they weren't very liberal minded, but they were so knowledgeable of everything, right? Oh, they knew about everything. They knew physics, they knew calculus, they knew all about E. Cummings or whatever. But it was, they still believed in talking snakes.
You're revisiting the 90s on this show, right? And what is that like as far as memory lane going?
Oh my gosh. Every time Georgia would walk onto the set, I'd say, I remember that. I remember wearing those shoes. I remember those earrings. I mean, the wardrobe people nailed it. The hair, makeup, everything. I mean, they just nailed it. It was, walk down memory lane. Oh, the 90s. Back when all I cared about was, frozen yogurt and Max Spice lip liner.
But it was the time where we went from the excess of the 80s, and the me generation to actually acting on things that were actually important. The environment and, racial issues and things like that. And it wasn't perfect.
Oh my God.
It wasn't perfect, but
Sure.
there were things brought to light that we addressed that now it just seems it's 180 degrees the opposite. So, rose-colored glasses, but it was like a utopian paradise compared to what we're living in now, I think.
Oh, I know. You never know how good you had it, right? I mean, back then I remember just, everything is powdered blue and lovely, this, that, and the other. And all of a sudden, I'm listening to a Nirvana song. A Nirvana song comes, Smells Like Teen Spirit, comes on 106.7.
Yes.
It's K-Rock. And I thought, what is this? And they were commenting on that time. And
that's like a what is it, watershed moment, right? For that defines you. Yeah.
The music that was made, oh my God, the music back then was just
and just a song that's kind of forgotten now, like Cracker, What the World Needs Now, just summed it up perfectly. We have been so stupid for so long, and now it's time to change and care about things that are important.
Yeah. This generation is pretty cool.
Really
I have so many, my girlfriend's friends, my girlfriend's kids are afraid to drive. No, I'm not going to get behind the wheel. You guys are all drunks.
It's true.
A 75-year-old little old lady would think. And it's so cool. It's great.
If they're not drunks, they're texting. I always think about David Bowie's song where the kids are quite aware of what they're going through. They're just fine, because I'm even as an elder millennial trying to come to terms with not being the cool generation anymore and going, they're fine.
They're mean to your consultation.
Yes.
They're going through.
100%.
Well, I believe the children are our future.
Oh my God. Well. I think this is where we need to end it. Well, I do. Before we let you go, we're really hopeful of a season 2. It looks like it'll happen. I think so. What do you want us to see with Susan? What do you think would happen? Is there a Ted and Susan buddy episode in our future, you think?
Oh my gosh. I am game for anything.
Oh, that's great.
I'm game for nudity. I'm game for an entire just episode dedicated to hair.
Love this.
The musical. And
Oh,
then we
okay.
all come out at the end naked and sing a song. Yeah, there could be a musical. Yeah, that would be wonderful.
A musical would be really fun.
Speaking of that, I want to throw this in there because I thought this was really interesting. You were in a film called Shriek If You Know What I Did Last Friday the 13th. It was a spoof on horror flicks, slasher flicks. Shirley Jones.
Danny Strong is the lead.
And Shirley Jones from the Partridge Family was in it. Now, you also were in a very Brady the Brady Bunch movie.
Brady Bunch movie, yeah.
So that is a crossover.
That's how Seth knew me.
Yeah, that is kind of a crossover of two 70s musically inclined sitcoms. That kudos to you. Kudos to you, Alanna, for being having that credits across those two.
Well, when you've lived in Los Angeles as long as I have, you're gonna, and I started working when I was like 12, 13.
Wow.
And I didn't live anywhere else. So it makes, if you really, put the pieces together, you see people like me and Scott Grimes and other kids that lived in this town. You're like, oh, they worked a lot, didn't they? They had of course, we were right there. We were just, in town and easy hires. And
but you must have done it right because, I mean, you're still doing it. You've worked consistently and have done amazing work.
I can't believe it.
Now, speaking of that,
I can't believe
anything else going on between now and Ted the Series season number 2 that you can tell us about?
Oh, God, I wish I could. But it's really cool. And it'll be coming out probably around Thanksgiving, and I'm so proud of it.
And you can't tell us what it is. You can't tell us anymore.
I can't tell you guys. Damn it, I can't.
Can you tell if is it theatrical? Is it a series? Is it streaming?
It's theatrical.
Oh, my God.
And it's coming out, and you get to have your popcorn and your slushies and your milk duds and enjoy it.
I can't wait to see that.
We'll watch Coco in anticipation of that again.
Oh, yes.
So,
I think Disneyland is having some Pixar festival going on right now.
Speaking of that, in my drink tonight, I'm using a vintage stirrer that says the Disneyland Hotel, and I did that just for you, Alanna, because you were.
Oh my God! Look at that!
Because you had the Disney Coco cred.
I do have one more question. When Susan walks in on Blair making out with her girlfriend, is she turned on?
Well, you know what? It's so funny because I just had made a joke to myself thinking, gosh, those are two of the most beautiful young
Hadn't
girls
noticed.
I've ever seen make out. And I've really never seen two women make out. I'm a geek. I'm such a geek. I'm a dork. I mean,
I love this.
Two straight girls trying to like turn on some guy at a ridiculous, at a party in the 90s. That was popular. But it was so funny. I joked to myself thinking, gosh, they're just so beautiful. What if she kind of is enjoying watching them? What if she enjoyed it? And she's not that self-aware where she would even stop herself. Let's try that, and
it was that's exactly what it was. It read exactly as that, like shocked, can't look away, doesn't want to look away. It just was
also doesn't want to interrupt.
Enjoyable.
Just
yeah, keep going, girls.
Well, I think that is I can't top that. Mike, anything else you want to ask our amazing guest?
Just if people want to follow your big doings, your goings on, where can people find you online?
Alanna Ubach Instagram.
Perfect.
Yes, I am verified. So the one with the little
that's very important.
Yes. And I like to share really fun stories about my childhood here and there. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, cheers, my dear. This was an absolute pleasure.
Oh, I'm drunk and I had 2 sips of this whiskey. I'm telling you.
Being a cheap date is what it's all about.
Oh, let me tell you something, you guys. This will last you 7 years. This will last you and you every night and you'll be wasted just like I am.
That is the best endorsement we could have asked for.
Well, thank you so much to our guest, Alanna Ubach. Thank you, Jessica, as always, for being a wonderful host. And thank you, Bear Fight Whiskey. Join us next time as Bear Fight Whiskey presents Talking Ted as we discuss episode 6, Loud Night.
Cheers, Mike.
Cheers, Jess.
Talking Ted is produced by Roddenberry Entertainment. Executive producer Rod Roddenberry and John Champion. Our website and your opportunity to comment and connect with us is podcast.roddenberry.com. This is a Roddenberry podcast. For more great podcasts, visit podcast.roddenberry.com.